Here's the story of a bunch of podcasts who were bringing Cubby content to the world. All of them did their own show. Unconnected, obsessive baseball nerds. It's the story of a bunch of Cubs fans who are consolidating all their shows. They're uniting, doing it together, so we all can grow. Cup of Cubby Blues combining with Sunranto, baseball rabbit hole and Cubs PS Plus. With Cubs fun and breaks behind the ivy, they're all teaming up to be the Bleacher Bunch, the Bleacher Bunch. We love the Cubs, that's the way we became the Bleacher Bunch.
Welcome to the Bleacher Bunch on the Fans First Network, brought to you by all of our Patreon supporters who support us at patreon.com/bleacherbunch, especially Blake Beard and Rogue Wave Creative, and of course our sponsors, Matt Cameras Permanent Paintings and In the Clutch Shirts. And here we are in what is a Cubs offseason, not a baseball offseason quite yet, but I'm the radical left fieldist, Danny Rocket. Got Sarah Sanchez here from Bleed Cubby Blue and CBS News, and we'll get to that. And from Public Radio, it's Cubes fan Cotton.
I do volunteer for Public Radio, but also I just realized a little bit ago I still have Bleacher Bum Bible book there in my little thing. So yes, you can still go to Amazon and buy the Bleacher Bum Bible book, and I don't know, give it to somebody for Christmas. Christmas coming up, right?
Yeah, and Christmas kind of has to do with the Bible.
Kind of. I mean, not really, because it's all made up, but sure.
Okay.
Oh man, I went not to put us off the rails real quick.
Are we really gonna kick it off with a religious war?
Absolutely.
Here's the Bleacher Bum Bible book. May I read a passage?
Sure.
Go for it.
All right, this one's.
Well, that's what you do with the Bible. You just flip it open, you find a passage.
All right, well, then we have to find the meaning in this phrase.
Right, and then you find the meaning in it, which can be anything, which is what this book proves, because I just made it work for the Cubs.
Exactly. Okay, it's number 39. Though he slay me, yet is this written by Alf?
Alf.
Sort of the dated reference, the alien.
Oh,
you
yes,
slay me. That was his catchphrase. Yeah, it's a dated reference. I'm in my 50s.
Alf was big in the Christian community.
Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. Job 13:15.
And also Jed Hoyer running the Cubs.
Exactly. He slays me. Yet I must, I don't really want to trust him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. That means keeping forward the Cub fandom way, even though you're getting slayed by the team.
Well, what was my note with it? What was the Cubs story I put with it?
In the season of 1969, the Cubs finally had a team worthy of reaching the World Series and winning it. By all accounts, they were the best team that year, but once again, they faltered late and were passed by none other than the upstart New York Mets, who'd only been a team for 7 seasons and were terrible most of that time. Despite the baseball gods continuing to treat Cub fans in the worst of ways, they maintained their loyalty to the Cubs and especially to the 1969 team itself, which had more Hall of Famers than any other second-place team in history. That's actually an ass stat, but it sounds true.
That sounds true. I mean, I've never looked this up, but more Hall of Famers than any second-place team in history.
Well, I'll go one further. The 1964 Cubs, I think, had 5 Hall of Famers.
They also had was that before the Lou Brock trade? Or
maybe.
Lou Brock trade was
I think it
later.
was. And they
64, yeah.
It was one of the worst teams in Cubs history, and they have 5 Hall of Famers. They just had no pitching. There's no pitching. One guy they wrote
sort of like 2025, nothing has changed.
Yeah, I actually think Lou Brock might have gotten traded in 64 or right before.
I'm looking it up right now, actually, because I feel something. I don't remember the year.
Though he slay me,
Lou Brock, it really made me think 64 was the year, but it could have been
June 15th, 1964.
Oh,
there we
when
go.
I get older.
I know Cubs disappointments from well before I was born.
Exactly. Though he slay me.
Though he slay me.
You shall maintain your own ways before him.
Raj! Yes, though he slays me could also be applied to Scott Harris, who comes from the Cubs lineage.
Yeah, well, we're getting slayed all over the place these days, but some of us are out in the streets fighting the good fight, and I just want to point out that Sarah Sanchez made the news, and so did my moobs, because my moobs are all over this clip. It's Sarah saying intelligent things, and my man boobs holding court in the back.
Hold on, your man boobs were making a good statement. Peaceful protester.
Yeah. And thank you, Joe, for the shirt, too. Obvious shirts, too. All right, check this out.
And its threat to send the National Guard into cities, including Chicago and Portland.
The message is no kings. The message is the Constitution of the United States is a wonderful document that matters.
Great job, Sarah.
Very nice.
Now, Sarah, I was right there, obviously, with my moobs, but I was right there listening, and you said so much more to that reporter. That is just like a snippet. Sarah went, I mean, what was it? At least 3 minutes that you went on. He asked you 5 or 6 questions about why you were here, what you wanted. Well, I don't know. You talk about your experience. I don't want to.
Well, so we were in Chicago at the No Kings protest, which, by the way, had about 250,000 people at it, 300,000 people. I mean, I've seen estimates of different things. I'm going to say this. Like, I've seen a video that shows that the No Kings protest went from Grant Park, around the corner, down Michigan Avenue, around Wacker, up the street, back towards Grant Park, 22 blocks of Chicagoans saying, we are not okay with what is happening in our city, and we will not stay at home and be silent while our city is being invaded by masked men who are literally disappearing people off of our streets. And I mean, I was asked a handful of questions.
Based on race?
Literally based on what you look like. And I you know, I'm going to be very real for 1 second as a Latina. Like, I have never felt more scared being in this city. Like, I walk miles every day. I mean, I know that, you know, there's crime in the city. There's crime in every city. But the most scared I've ever been is knowing that there are people just stopping anyone who looks Latino or looks like they're not from here to ask for literally their papers. Like, prove you're from here, or we will throw you in the back of an unmarked van and you will have no way to, you might not get a phone call. We might not tell anybody who loves you where you are. Like, people are just going to have to figure it out. It's the first time in my entire life that I've had to have people that I check in with. Danny knows this because he's one of my people. Like, I told him months ago, I was like, hey, man, if you don't hear from me for like a week, assume something is wrong. I will check in with you every week. You will know. Anyway,
that's why we do the podcast. That's how I get you on the show.
Yeah, we see each other more than the podcast.
This is now the Proof of Life podcast.
Yeah.
But no, they asked me a question, and I kind of wish they had aired this bit. So I'm just going to share it here about what it means being from Chicago and what we in this city see and what we need and what would be helpful. And the thing is, there are problems everywhere. Most of the problems that exist in the city of Chicago are because of systemic injustice that has existed for a really long time. The places that have not been invested in need investment. They need resources. They need a million things, but they do not need ICE walking down the streets grabbing people. They do not need masked men taking people from school pickup lines. Like, I walked to an in-person work site the last couple of days here on the north side in the neighborhood, about 2 miles from Wrigley Field, which is in the area where I live. And there are citizens with whistles at every corner by every elementary school so that they can warn the teachers if the vans pull up. I have my whistle. I
got
cannot
one on my
leave
keys.
my house without my whistle. And the military can only make things worse. ICE can only make things worse. Protect your people, stand up for your cities. And if you are lucky enough to be in a place or a city that is not being invaded right now, and you're like, oh, I don't know if it's an emergency or it's an emergency. It's a motherfucking emergency. Do whatever you can to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say
I
motherfucking
shared a-
emergency to the
I-
CBS guy.
I shared a
Which is why he had talked to you and not me. It's like, that guy's going to say, motherfucker, I know he's gonna, I can see it in his face. He's about to drop 50 F-bombs for unusable tape. Sorry,
Yeah.
what did you say, Cotton?
Oh, I was just gonna say I shared this like cartoon thing that I found on Reddit the other day that somebody wrote, and it was about. And it started with it's raining in Chicago, and then it just goes through like all this stuff talking about ice being there and everything, and then like the last panel is like, and it's raining in Chicago, and if you don't think it'll rain in your town. And it's like that's the absolute truth. It's like
Well, I know how it is,
didn't even
though.
start in Chicago. It started in L.A.
When
And now it's
something
in
happens
Chicago.
though
It's in
somewhere
New
else,
York. Yeah.
when something happens somewhere else, it's hard to everything's local, it's if it doesn't affect you. But it is very nerve-wracking even just to walk around the city right now because everybody's on edge. Every single van you see is suspect, especially like dudes that are like trailing each other. And that happens all the time because there's like work trucks like rolling around, and you don't know what's a work truck or what could be just like, GI Trader Joe jumping out of his car, just tackling the gardener. Like it's nerve-wracking. It's unconscionable. I don't think it's who America ever wanted to be. Really throughout the entire history, although we've had some bad moments before, this is not completely unprecedented that people would do this dastardly, like there was the Fugitive Slave Act, for example. But really, that's the only other terrible thing in history that
Oh, you mean like the darkest
terrible.
time in the nation's history where we literally treated other humans as less than human? Yes, that we're in an emergency, folks. Like this is it. Like, and the last thing I just really want to say here,
frightening.
Danny organized the group of our friends who went to the No Kings rally. It was a group of Cubs friends. Yeah, this is a great picture. Group of Cubs friends hanging out. We normally hang out at Wrigley Field and cheer for the Cubs, but the Cubs are no longer in the playoffs. But even if the Cubs were in the playoffs, I think we would have been down at the No Kings protest, repping our city and trying to do the thing that is right. And it was an absolute privilege to be there with 250,000 other Chicagoans. But genuinely,
I love this picture. Shout out to Larry for taking this shot.
It's an awesome shot. Genuinely, if there is something you could be doing, or you're like, maybe I could help, or look into it, man. Like now is it. If you ever sat in history class and asked yourself, what would I do?
Yeah. Well, this is going to be hopefully the cover of the freaking history book, because this is how I want Cub fans and me to be remembered. Is like, I went into the streets and I used my voice and I raised it up to shout for, I don't know, the Constitution.
Have
follow the laws of the land.
I remember being a teenager and my grandfather telling me how he fought the Nazis at the Battle of the Bulge. And I keep here. And I'm not going to be able to like go fight in a war, but I will fight for what we have here. And I will stand up as long as I can.
Yeah. This is bullshit.
It's so frustrating with everything going on. And then we're always hearing about Antifa this and Antifa that. It's like, no, our grandparents were the first Antifa.
Yeah,
they were out there fighting.
Anti-fascist, bitch.
Yeah, that's what it means, and that's what they were doing. And it was bad news.
How was your No Kings, Michael? You went to it, right? The Iowa one.
We had quite a few people.
It was everywhere. It was all over the country. It was
all over the country. Iowa City is not like really big, but with like the university and everything here, there was a ton of people and they were just circling and circling and circling. We have a downtown area, and they just marched for like.
Was it festive?
4
Were they
hours.
banging drums? Were they singing? Were they chanting? Were they singing?
Yeah, they were
Trump?
kind of doing all of that. We have like the old state capitol is right here, and so there's a bunch of stuff going on there. That was kind of like where it all started, and then it just circled and people chanting and doing all this.
We
stuff.
had some great songs and chants going. Like I was leading a few. We caught on to a couple of other ones. I had
Danny
people
kept
filming
turning
me.
the chants into songs. So like they'd be like, "Hey, ho ho, Donald Trump has got to go," and Danny would like give it a
riff.
melody, and then
I'd
I'd like
hey,
do the death hand. Donald Trump has got to go. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Like we had a whole chorus
Yeah,
going in
and
our
I'm banging the
section.
drum. I haven't played that much drum in a long time. My hands were hurting the next day because I drummed for like 2 hours straight.
It was worth every note.
Oh
I
yeah.
was so grateful to be there with y'all.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And and that's what we need to be building in general is like the community. So you're out there with your people in Iowa. Well, you're seeing your neighbors. You're out there on the street. We're out there with our 300,000 neighbors, out there playing drums, singing together. It's a joyous thing. And I want to bring up too that, normally like I would push some of the ways that we get like a little bit of money, like our Amazon search bar and our, like our links, on Sunranto shopping and stuff. I don't push that much because I don't want people shopping. Like right now, I think in general, like I don't want to, participate in their Black Friday bullshit. I think we should all be spending our money as locally as we possibly can, circulating it within our own communities, taking whatever power we have in numbers to do things. And as Cubs fans and fans of baseball, we know that like people coming together to do something great can actually accomplish change, such as like 9 years ago tonight when Cub fans came together and won the pennant for the first time since 1945 when they were playing with a war-torn baseball team of gimps and old men.
And Wilson Contreras.
Wilson Contreras was on the 45 Cubs?
Oh, I thought you said 9 years ago. I thought you said, I'm sorry. I thought you said 9.
No,
I assumed you were talking about the pennant in 2016.
No, I was. But then I flipped to the pennant before, which was 1945.
He was saying since this pennant, when the last time the Cubs had won the pennant had been when they were all.
I maybe made a leap in my head that I did not articulate.
Man, Wilson Contreras would have rocked the 1945 baseball world.
Oh my God, can you imagine? They would worship him like a god. Like, how does he do these things? Like, imagine Javi playing in like 1945 World Series. They're like, he's a magician. Anyway, what are we going to need to talk about? Oh, the Cubs. We're at 17 minutes of the show. Who cares about the Cubs? I've been sitting here being like, do I really have a whole off season in me where I talk about Bregman again, where I talk about Bellinger again, where I talk about Tucker? You know what? Go back and listen to last year's off-season episodes, and they will be the exact fucking same. We're like, they should spend money to make the team better, and they probably won't because they're blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
I was looking through Reddit stuff, trying to find like TFCs and stuff today, and just catching up on what people are saying. And like I saw somebody saying, have the Ricketts been spending the last 5 years getting ready for 2027? Because like we're expecting
it's 2032, Michael. 2032.
Well, no, but expecting the lockout and the strike and all the
Carter
things
Hawkins is very concerned about 2032.
Yes, he is.
Because he knows, man, he should be. You got to think about the future.
Right. And he knows that he can't really do anything until 28 because the Ricketts aren't really planning to do anything until after the 2027 labor negotiations get worked out.
If Carter Hawkins is still in this front office in 2032, I'm going to need a new team. Like I'm out, man. Like I cannot. Like there's no way things have gone well in the city of Chicago if Carter Hawkins is still in the front office in 2032. Well, assuming we get to 2032. That's
why 2032.
Well, because he said that he was on at the trade deadline.
No,
he was like, we gotta be careful about the team's health in 2032. Yeah. And I was like, do you though?
Right. No, that's not what I was saying. I know why you're bringing up 2032. I'm saying, why are we still fans of this team with Carter Hawkins and Jed Hoyer in here in 2026?
Yeah.
Because these guys suck. They are terrible. And Sarah, I know that you and I were on the same page at the start of this year that the worst case scenario is that they would sneak into the postseason tournament and they would extend Jed Hoyer. And what freaking happened? Exactly that.
They did us one better though. they decided to extend Jed Hoyer as if that gave him some sort of leverage at the trade deadline to get better for the playoffs. And then he didn't. And now we're stuck with Jed Hoyer, despite the fact that they snuck into the playoffs. But the other thing that Michael and I definitely agreed on, and I think when Michael and I agree on things, we're definitely right, is that the Kyle Tucker
I'm
move,
right most of the time. And when you back me up, I'm like, yeah, take that, motherfucker.
this Kyle Tucker trade was always going to be a 1-year deal. And like Cubs fans are out there like, he wasn't that good. I'm like, y'all don't understand a superstar player. When you see one, have a nice day. Like, I understand he was kind of hurt for part of the year here and you got down on him, but there's no other free agent out there who's of the same caliber. So now we get to watch all of Cam Smith and all of Hayden Wesneski and know that like they were the price for whatever happened with Kyle Tucker. Oh, geez. Do you think that, well, I guess Hayden Wesneski's having Tommy John surgery. So, he wouldn't have helped the Cubs in this playoff run, but like Cam Smith looks like a pretty legit dude. I'm not sure I like Matt Shaw better than Cam Smith as the future Cubs third baseman. They still need a third baseman, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And the only silver lining to the Kyle Tucker cloud is that if Seiya Suzuki moves back to right, it's Moises Ballesteros designated hitter season, people. And it's going to be a blast because Moises Ballesteros is really, really fun.
And you know what, Sarah? That should have been the way we started last year.
Yes.
It should have just been Seiya in right and Moises as a DH. And like you say, the Cubs need a third baseman. I don't think so. Look, I don't like Matt Shaw as a human, but as a third baseman, he's
a good defensive third baseman.
He's exactly.
Well, people are saying
the second half, he was the only offensive threat on this damn team after the All-Star break.
he's a rookie. He's going to take some time. I mean, he's going to go up and down. He had a couple good months. He had a couple horrible months where he like hit like an old pitcher. But if you look at his B-WAR versus everybody's saying go get Bregman versus his B-WAR, it's the same.
Well, that's because Bregman missed a lot of time.
Right. But still, but so did Matt Shaw. Matt Shaw wasn't here the whole time. Shaw did too. He wasn't here the whole time. And he was hurt.
Down.
Yeah, and he took off like 5 games because his freaking best friended podcaster got killed. That was worth 0.5 WAR right there. He was in a hot streak until that happened.
I know. I'm going to be so upset if the day that I die, Matt Shaw doesn't take the day off. Whatever he's doing, at whatever age that might be, he's going to be like 45 and he's going to be an insurance salesman or something. And I'll die and he'll go, you know what? I can't come into work today. Cotton hated insurance. And so,
okay, a couple of things. One, Bregman had 3.5 B-WAR to Shaw's 3.1 B-WAR.
Yeah, it's 0.4. Like we're basically like
over 162 games.
Yeah, I mean the plate appearance situation.
Good for is just comparing two players anyway. And if you're looking at one that's 3.4 and one is 3.1,
Bregman could DH.
Who cares? It's a toss up.
Well, the plate appearance. Well,
you could play third. Bregman's great, but then you're just saying, what are you going to do with Matt Shaw?
Hold on. I got to get back to this Bregman thing because he probably is going to like opt out, and there's going to be a whole narrative about it. And I just want to get this on the record. Bregman will never be as good with the Cubs as he was with the Red Sox or as he was with the Astros. It is a hitty. Remember what we talked about with Isaac Paredes, poolside power, short court.
It's a magic trick.
It's the same thing, except for Bregman. The reason that Fenway is such a good fit is because the Green Monster's right there, which means he gets like a ton of doubles off the monster. Like he peppers the monster with balls. He can't do that at Wrigley. Those are flyouts. Like I don't know why the Cubs front office does not understand that some guys are not a good fit for their park with the like deepest corner and left, but they're not. And Alex Bregman is Isaac Paredes 2.0 with a better glove and a better track record in the playoffs.
Well, because the numbers that they're looking at, they make the park factors. They bring the park factors in, and they make the parks all the same. So when they look at the numbers, they're like, oh, Well, I guess that just means that it's all the same, and it doesn't matter what park we're talking
and
about.
They play at other parks too. I mean, 81 games is the last half the season. But the other thing is like to sit and have like this Groundhog Day of an off season where we're talking about like Bellinger was thrown out there again. I was like, oh my God, are we really back here again? And then
Kyle
but
Schwarber before
Tucker,
Bellinger, but I don't want to block. I don't want to block Ballesteros.
To be fair,
yeah,
we never did spend the Bellinger money, so we can go out and get Bellinger.
Spending
with it.
Bellinger on money on Bellinger.
The Ricketts spent the Bellinger money.
Yeah, the Ricketts spent it. Yeah, they opened up a new restaurant. No, they didn't. They probably did, but it's in an underground lair for where they escaped to Argentina. After all this is over. So I was looking at the roster and kind of what we have left and and everybody's known this for a while that everything expires after next year. This is very small. I don't know how well you guys could see this.
Weird. I wonder why they did that with the CBA looming.
Yeah. So all the expiring contracts are Hap, Suzuki, Tyone, Horner, and then those are the main ones.
Hey, let's talk about these like arms at the bottom though, because they were the most interesting to me. Like Kittredge and Colin Ray. I am definitely interested in more of Kittredge and Colin Ray.
It's a $9 million option. Not that it's mine. Is Kittredge worth $9 million? Because that's what he gets for the option. That's the issue.
Closing for you and doing a great job of it in the playoffs. A closer for $9 million is a steal.
Yeah, but he's not.
Is he that guy though? Is he?
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm not saying you want him to be your closer. You want like Daniel Palencia to be your closer. But my point is like a guy who can step in at closer for $9 million. That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
How much of that is the Crimson and Clover talking though?
Actually, it's not Crimson and Clover at all. It's so the thing about Kittredge that I noticed is the way that he his particular sort of like short delivery, just like get the ball to the plate, and he fools batters, man. Like it's crazy. He had an immaculate inning. He almost had a second one. Like
got a weird windup. That's for
sure.
Real, I'm real into Kittredge. Man. I like Kittredge.
He fools a lot. Everyone.
I think he's hard to replace.
Yeah, he looks like an old man throwing.
He looks like you, dude.
Pitching.
Looks like
I know, and I'm an old man.
Yeah,
and if I were to throw pitching at a little league practice, which I have done, that windup is exactly what I do. The difference is
you don't throw
it
90
pops out of his hand at 96 miles per hour, and I can't even drive that fast.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't look like he's working very hard. That's what's impressive about it. He's just like winging it in there, like that dude at the party that's just great at darts. Like he's like not assuming, and then he goes up and he like hits bullseye after bullseye without even looking. Well, yeah, I mean Kittredge, $9 million. I mean, who knows if they like him and pick him up? There's a reason they went and got him. I know they love doing that kind of thing, like, oh, we get him with an option, and we get the option, and blah blah blah. Now, do you know who's
how much do we owe Colin Ray if we want to keep him?
Well, $5
million.
Do
we have to like?
No, $6 million. $6 million. I think you do that. Yeah.
Yes, man. The dude is like he was definitely your fourth starter, maybe your third starter.
Unfortunately, yes.
He really doesn't work against the NL Central. Because when you see him more, the magic wears off. But like against every other team, he's kind of great.
Just hide him against the Central.
Well, and you presume that like next year you have Steele, Horton, Boyd, and Tyone. Now Boyd, I think, is going to take a step back. We just saw Matthew Boyd's best season. It was great. We should not expect that from Matthew Boyd again. But I think Boyd is still pretty good. And then the biggest question for me on this pitching staff is what do you do with Shota? Because the Shota contract situation is crazy.
$20 million. It's really complicated. I have it, and I don't know if you can read this, but I'll put it up so everybody can, take a look on their screen if you're watching. And it is nuts because they'll owe him $20 million the next 2 years.
Well, it's a conditional option that triggers not just this option, right? It triggers 2 years.
Yeah, and because it's exactly. But there's two ways it can work, and I don't know if we need to go all the way through.
No, we do. We need to. People need to understand how complicated this is because Jed Hoyer did this to himself on purpose.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I can aptly explain it. Would you like to explain it?
I
Because I don't know that I fully understand it. I just was gonna like summarize it, being like, you owe him 20 million bucks, and you can either buy out the next 2 years, or you can wait till after the following year and then buy out another year. But that costs a lot anyway. But either way, it's gonna all be worth 50 million or
Yeah,
something.
give me 1 second.
Is
Bleacher
that the
Nation
Cliff's
had a
Notes
really
version?
good. It is the Cliff Notes version, but Bleacher Nation had a really good
So it's
explainer
worth
about this.
53 million guarantee. After 2025, the club can exercise a 2028 option, which is a 3-year, 57 million extension, bringing the overall value to a 5-year, 80 million. And then after 2026, there's also a 2028 option, but it's for 42 million for 2 years. So
Okay.
that is more money per year than the 2025 option.
Yeah.
So they'd be buying a lot now. Like
Well-
I think that's the Cliff Notes. If you do it now, you're saying show to 3 years. I trust this. Let's ride this show to horse for 3 years.
Okay, but here's the big question: does he become a free agent if they don't pull the trigger on this option before next year?
Give me 1 second.
No.
My
that's
second
the
laptop
thing,
just
'cause-
froze the second I opened Bleacher Nation because now they're like
No.
an ad.
No,
central.
they will. They will owe him for, I think, the next 2 years. The option is for 2028.
Okay, so the really easy option, and shout out to Brett Taylor for this. Brett is a lawyer and Michael Cerami, and they're like just really good at explaining some of these things, and they do good work over there, and they're our friends. So if the Cubs exercise the option, they can just keep Shota for 3 years. It'll be $57 million total. It'll be 20 million next year, 20 million in 2027, and 17 million in 2028. Keep in mind, as I say all of these, that the collective bargaining agreement gets renegotiated after the 2026 season and will impact the 2027 season through the next 5 years. So if the Cubs decide that they do not want to exercise that full 3-year option,
After this
they
season,
decline that $57 million club option. And Shota can choose. So the Cubs are no longer choosing to exercise a player option for $15 million for 2026. There's a high likelihood that Shota would choose to do that. Like, he is going to get like $15 million a year is not a guarantee for him. He kind of had a down year at the end of the year. Like 15 million is right in that range where he might do that. But you're now gambling with like Shota gets to bet on himself. Now, a couple of other things get crazy here, though, because if Shota declines the $15 million, the Cubs can make him a qualifying offer. And the qualifying offer is generally around 20 to 22 million. So now you're in a weird world where you're just kind of like, well, why would the Cubs offer him $22 million if they turned down a 3-year 2017 deal? But the answer is that they see
the years.
They don't think, they don't want all those years. They'd rather give him the QO, hope he turns it down, but he probably takes it, and then you at least get a draft pick for him. If Shota declines the qualifying offer, he's a free agent. The Cubs get a draft pick. That is it. He's probably never going to be a Cub again.
So now that you've explained it, I already know what's going to happen.
Go for it, Michael.
Well, they are absolutely not going to pick up the option because they're not, and it has to do with the 3 years, and it doesn't have to do with the money. And then they're going to put it into, put the ball in his court to take the 15. And then if he doesn't do that, then they give the qualifying offer. And even if that is $2 million more, it's only for 1 year. That's the difference. And this is what people don't really get with the Cubs. They generally do not care about money. They only care about years.
Well,
and the years work out better if they just don't.
Roster flexibility, they would call it.
I want to add in one piece here because I don't think I explained the CBA portion of this well enough. There is going to be a massive fight, like bigger than the last CBA, bigger than what we saw in COVID. A massive fight is coming at the CBA negotiations. I think we'll still have baseball in 2027, so don't worry about that. But I there might be a limited season, there might be a shortened season, whatever. The gap in terms of teams who spend money versus teams who do not has grown to a Grand Canyon. And there is a whole slew of small market teams that are going to insist or try to insist on a salary cap. I don't think they're going to get it. But if you're Jed Hoyer, the reason Danny put up the first chart you had that showed all those contracts expiring in 2027, they did that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
2027 means that you can reset the team and reset all of your deals after you know what the new luxury tax rules are and after you know what the CBA requires you do. There is a very good reason that they are only invested in like 3 guys beyond 2027.
See, and this is why I was saying out on Reddit, I found this thing where they were talking about this, that even though they've been telling us they're trying, they really are not trying, because they've been resetting for this entire 5 years without really going in to go for it because of this CBA.
Because of the 2027 and the
and the real galaxy brain thinking is Carter Hawkins, who's waiting for the 2032 CBA.
Yeah,
exactly.
He went above and beyond. He's like, once I get everything straightened out, starting in the 28 season, I will then have 4 years to get to my World Series.
Well,
whatever, man.
It's going to be a really interesting CBA negotiation because I'm honestly not sure. Like, I understand like the Brewers of the world and the Pirates of the world and the Rays of the world are all going to be like, oh, we need a salary cap. The Dodgers are destroying us and it's sad. I get that. But like the Cubs are interesting to me here because the Cubs kind of want there to be like a cap on spending. They don't want to be in the world where they're constantly getting compared to the Reds. And this is no reporting. This is just like me reading tea leaves.
They don't want to spend Dodgers monies.
They're like, we don't want to have to spend at the rate the Dodgers are spending, or the Mets are spending, or the Red Sox are spending. We're sick of our fans complaining about the fact that we don't spend enough money. And so the divide at the CBA has always sort of been like big market teams, small market teams. But like, if you're the Chicago Cubs, which side are you on? Are you on the side of the Phillies of the world and the Dodgers of the world? Or are you on the side of, I don't know, man, the spending is out of control. You got to rein it in for 2032. I genuinely don't know where they'll come down.
Oh, I don't know. I feel pretty confident in saying that the Ricketts are in the salary cap part of this.
Well, this is interesting.
I talked about this last year and the year before. Like, I honestly think that the Dodgers, they are in with everybody doing this. The reason they have this insane budget is because they have the ability to do this at this moment, and so do the Mets, and so they're doing this. And what it's going to do is turn the world against them for these contracts, so that the regular fan will.
They gotta control it. We want a salary cap.
Ownership side.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I seriously think that the Mets and the Dodgers are pushing that for that reason.
I agree with you, Cotton, but I want to stress something here that I write about every CBA season, and I need everybody watching this podcast, and I need people who talk to people who care about baseball to get to understand this math and just share it with your friends. There are a handful, not very many, a handful of multimillionaires in Major League Baseball. The number of guys who make the major leagues and make it through all their years of free agency and hit 10 years of service time and get a chance at a multi-million-dollar contract is tiny. The number of guys who get a chance at a $300, $400, $500 million contract is minuscule. Most players in Major League Baseball don't even live in the Kyle Hendricks land of the world, where you get like a $5 million, $3 million a year contract and you make it to 10 years and you're really happy. They don't live in Javier Baez land where you make $174 million and you're pretty happy. They live in, we got drafted or signed an international free agent deal when we were 19, 16, 20, 21 years old. We had no signing bonus or a very small signing bonus. That signing bonus didn't cover a year's worth of anything. We fought our way through complex league and low A and high A and double A and triple A to get to the
where they are
majors.
making
that career
10
might
grand
last.
at
Yeah,
best.
we're going to get to that in 1 second. That career in the majors might last a year. It might go back and forth for a couple of years. You're out of the league in 3 or 4 years. Most of those people, when they're in the minors, are not even on the 40-man roster all the time. So they're making like $45,000 a year after having spent 7 years making $10,000 a year. And they literally do not get paid for spring training because it is considered an audition. So when you are watching spring training this year, you're watching minor leaguers who are out there working for nothing, the poorest players in the league working for nothing for their shot at the ring.
And it's $100 to sit on the berm.
And what friends of this show need to understand and care about is that as the CBA negotiation is going on, everybody's going to highlight the $300 and $400 and $500 million contracts. They're going to say these baseball players are greedy. They want too much. 90% of the baseball players are making less than minimum wage, and they're just praying for a shot.
And the problem is that people just don't actually they don't know those guys' names because they come out and they play for a little bit, which is why I said when I die, Matt Shaw is going to be working at an insurance agency because he's not going to make it that long in the league. He's going to be good for like 4 or 5 years, and then he's going to be out, and he's going to be like the face of Topeka fucking insurance so that he can have a life.
Can I put up some? Can I put up a graphic from our friend Full Tech?
Oh, I love Tommy. This Trevor May quote was gold. Yes, go.
Yeah, because Trevor May said, I think there should be a salary cap in baseball. In exchange, teams must allow for a third-party audit yearly and then to verify. And he went on, and Full Count Tommy retweeted that and said, transparent and audited revenue has always been the most necessary part of this and why a cap will simply not happen. He said, some realistic fixes for me for the next CBA. No deferral relief in luxury tax calculation. So you don't get to be like, hey, the Dodgers, you have to count like $1 million of Ohtani, even though you're paying him 70. Extreme penalties at the top of the tax scale. Like, I guess they have that in other sports like basketball, the really high penalties. And then arbitration begins in year 3 rather than year 4, which I think a lot of players would probably
beyond that. I'm gonna yes and Full Count Tommy there. It's great. I saw that exchange. It was great post by Tommy. Players should hit free agency sooner. The baseball player peak is somewhere in like your mid 20s, and the aging curve starts to hit you in like your like 30-ish on for most players, but some of them even a little sooner. The baseball has an economic system right now where you get the 7 best years of Javier Baez for the cheapest possible amount of money that you could get for him. And when he starts to have hip problems and back problems, because he did all those miraculous things, like if he doesn't get a 6-figure long-term deal, he's done, right? Like that is an insane economic system for guys who, like you have a very small window where you can earn that kind of money. The other thing, so
arbitration's kind of bullshit in general.
It's not even arbitration. Like, yes, they need to hit arbitration earlier, but they also need to lessen the free agent window.
Can you imagine Taylor Swift?
Team control should be like 5 years max.
Yeah. So, and I actually worked on this with Baseball Rabbit Hole. I went into the rabbit hole and I was looking at one of the years I was talking about all the different work stoppages, depending whether it was a lockout, a strike, or whatever. And I actually found out the 1994 strike, the players had the option to make their rookie contracts like 1 or 2 years shorter, and they didn't take it. Like they could have fixed this way back in 1994, and they didn't do it because they got something else. And now here we are 30 years later, and this is one of the big problems, is something that they could have fixed in 94 if they had just
the players are smarter now.
So, it's not even that they're smarter. They have better representation. So one of the things that happened to the Major League Baseball Players Association through after the mid 90s into the early 2000s that people should just be aware of as you're reading all the labor stuff and as all the stuff comes out that tries to get you to hate your favorite player and hate your favorite team, is that they didn't really fight for the right things in those labor fights because they didn't have people running the MLB Players Association who were labor lawyers who understood what
they had players doing it.
They had former players doing it.
Yeah.
And that is why they got kind of jobbed in a handful of CBA negotiations by billionaire owners who wind up were like, yeah, we'll give you 3 more days off, man. That'll be great.
3 more days off in exchange for a Coke machine in the break room.
They should have asked for more. They definitely should have asked for more. But the other thing there, and they fixed that now. They have some real labor chops in the legal field there over at the MLBPA, which is a good thing. I think that this debate always gets framed as millionaires who get paid to play a game are whining about money. And don't you think teachers should be paid more than baseball players? And to be clear, I am a former teacher. I currently work in education at a nonprofit. I do believe that teachers should be paid more than baseball players by a lot. But I can't make that happen in a CBA negotiation. All I can get out of a CBA negotiation is, do the players get the money or do the billionaire owners get the money?
Exactly.
That is a very simple equation because that money should go to the players.
Well,
not
and
to hedge fund.
My personal concern is where they're getting this money from, because it is you and me and the other guy. So, so these rising prices every year, we all watch these beer prices double, triple, and they're like, yeah, we want to double,
they
triple.
Just stacked $1 onto everything for the playoffs. They're just like, whatever, everything costs $1 more.
I know. Well, but they're making it more unaffordable. We were complaining about the unaffordability of ball games 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's everything. It's everything from you can't get. Oh, the water is $8. Like that should be illegal to sell water for $8. Like, right? I'm thirsty. I need water. It should be $1. Like, no matter what. Everything can be an expensive item, but water should just be $1. I mean, they're getting the money from us. So to me, it's that's the thing that's always left out of it. Like these millions of dollars that they're carving up, they're from us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where else would they be from?
Partially, but
from look at, I've got a Cubs sweatshirt on, I got Cubs shit all around me. They got money, they got a dime from every single one of these things, except for like all the camera stuff. That's all bootleg. I like the bootleg stuff. I make my own hats. Look, ranter hat. Cubs didn't get a piece of that.
I didn't even get a piece of that. I want that hat.
We actually lost money on that.
Shocking.
So
it's a good hat, though.
Yeah, bad example, but
well, okay. So
anyway, sorry, I did not. I'm sure Danny did not put the CBA into the.
No, I did. I just had it. No, I didn't actually have it in there, but I did have that quote from Full Count Tommy, and it is all connected because the Cubs expiring contracts are all about the CBA, and But I do want to bring in, just before we give it short shrift, it's really important because there is one mutual option that who knows what they'll do. Like, I don't even know how mutual options work. They're weird, right? It's like, so
right. Like both people have to agree, which means that either one can say no.
But
all right, let's start up.
Justin Turner, $10 million.
Absolutely.
Oh my fucking God.
Even for this moment to be repeated, that shirtless, cigar chopping Justin Turner with a cross.
I actually have a thought on this that I have to share. Thank you for your services.
He looks like Evil a 12-year-old boy that I would assume is going nowhere in life.
I think he looks like Evil Gimli from The Lord of the Rings. But I call him that on occasion.
You put that in your scorecard when he starts.
I do. Evil Gimli.
Evil Gimli, it takes up more room than Turner.
So I saw a lot of people who were very upset that Michael Busch did not get a Silver Slugger nomination. And the man hit 30 home runs as a first baseman, had some pretty good numbers. So I understand why people are upset about that. And let me explain to you why that is. You can thank Jed Hoyer for Michael Busch not getting a Silver Slugger nomination as a 30 home run first baseman.
I'll tell you why.
You cannot platoon a guy with a 40-year-old and think that you're going to get a Silver Slugger nomination, that is bonkers and insane. So congratulations to the Cubs, who, and I mean this sincerely, because this is the type of thing you do to keep a guy's arbitration numbers lower. When Michael Busch doesn't get a Silver Slugger award, guess what? He doesn't cost as much. You can keep his salary lower as long as possible. It is in the Cubs' interest to not make Daniel Palencia the closer. It is in their interest to not make Michael Busch the platoon-free first baseman. Like, some of these things might be analytics and smart, but some of them are like, and the bonus is we save $5 million over the next 3 years. That's great.
I talked about Justin Turner's detrimental effect on this team last week, and trust me, there are no analytics that support Justin Turner playing on this team.
There really are. Like, we just lost when he played. Like, the main really numbers, we lost when he played.
I wrote that piece earlier this year. I'm glad to hear it still holds up.
Oh, it does.
And I'm really glad that you brought up bullshit awards, because
the bullshit is bullshit awards season. Yeah,
it's when Danny put that in the script, bullshit award seasons. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly where we're at.
Well, I'm not even that into the real awards like the Gold Glove or MVP.
No,
like, those are important awards. Like, MVP's seems like important. Cy Young kind of feels important.
It is indeed the most valuable player.
And some of them are a little newer. Like this Silver Slugger. I don't know how long they've been doing that for. Probably
a long
decade
time
or two. Yeah, long enough.
30 or 40 years.
Yeah, to me that's like a new award.
Much longer than that. I mean,
if it wasn't around when I was 10, it's like
it might not have been called the Silver Slugger, but it was like the best hitter.
Yeah. Oh no, since 1980. So it's exactly 45 years old. The reason I know this though is because if you want to play Immaculate Grid, you got to know which players could have possibly ever won a Silver Slugger. And for example, if you ever have won a Cy Young award, you cannot put Cy Young in the Cy Young award winner on the Cy Young award pitcher, because you know who predated the Cy Young award? Cy Young.
Yeah.
So,
well, and Cy Young was actually dead prior to the first award being given out.
Well, that's my point. Yeah, you can't.
So, I mean, he got the ultimate Cy Young award, and that was his gravestone.
But let's talk about some bullshit awards, Danny. Let's do it.
Congratulations, you're dead. Well, yeah, Kate Horton won the Sporting News Rookie of the Year, which is not the Rookie of the Year. It's not the official Rookie of the Year.
He might actually win the Rookie of the Year, though.
He might actually win it. But yeah, the Sporting News, I like the Sporting News too, because that's actually players that vote on it. It's like 320 players that get a chance to vote on it. And you would hope that some of them have paid attention to Kate Horton this year.
Shout out to a friend of mine who does some fantasy content over at Fangraphs, Joe Arico. He had a tweet earlier this year. Well, he quote tweeted somebody, a Braves fan, who was like, I hope Drake Baldwin enjoys his Rookie of the Year award. And Joe Arico was like, he's going to have to go admire it at Kate Horton's house. And I was like, boo. From the top rope from Joe Arico. Kate Horton, fun fact, I was looking this up for something else. So if you happen to be one of those rare crossover folks who cares about my fantasy stuff, this is for you. I was working on a different project, and I was looking at the players who put up the most value as pitchers or hitters. No rookie qualifier or anything like that, just qualified players, most value, first half, second half. So PCA is number 4 on the first half and falls off the leaderboard in the second half, right? Who do you think the most valuable pitcher in all of Major League Baseball in the second half was?
Yeah, Kate Horton. Yeah, no, I know.
Fucking
he had the lowest
Horton.
ERA for
better
a while,
than
too.
Carrick Stubble, better than Paul Skeens, most valuable pitcher in terms of fantasy baseball, which cares about ERA, WHIP, wins, strikeouts, and the fuck is the last one?
Well, he was great. It's just he wasn't there all year.
Saves. He doesn't qualify in the saves.
Yeah, I don't know really who else he'd be up against, but
well, I mean, he definitely, based on what he did, especially in the second half of the season, he had numbers that people would consider for a Cy Young award. He didn't have enough innings or starts really.
And then he got hurt
to truly get consideration for it. But the numbers when he was pitching we're right there with every guy that's going to be up for the Cy Young. So when he was there, he was the best.
Before he got hurt, he would have been our number one starter in the playoffs. And how much different does that look? Instead, they had to put Boyd up there, who was already turned into a pumpkin the whole last month of the season. And he did great.
Have to.
Matthew Boyd
was a
great.
bad fucking choice by a
Only
bad fucking
bad
manager.
choice was Matthew Boyd on short rest, man. That was
That was dumb. We could have won the whole thing. We could be playing tomorrow, god damn it. So we got the stupid Dodgers and
obviously health matters, but like Justin Steele, Cade Horton, Matthew Boyd, Jamison Tyon, maybe Shota. Colin Ray's your bullpen guy now. Javier Sads, like this is like I'm digging that rotation. That rotation
and they should add to it too. I mean, there will be those like reclamation projects. Like you're basically this year's Colin Ray. They're going to have another Colin Ray, and Colin Ray will be bad this year, and he'll just go by the wayside.
The problem is it'll have to be a reclamation project because they won't sign any real pitchers for any real amount of years.
I'm not even going to look at the list of who's available because I'm just like, we're not that team. Yeah.
The Cubs are only interested in players for 2026. That's all they care about. They are not looking beyond that.
Yeah, they're going to run it back, and at best, that's our best hope is they run it back.
If they sign even a 2-year contract, I will honestly be surprised.
Like as a fake out, with a vesting option. It's like, well, if he gets 200 strikeouts,
right,
we got it for next year. Some weird. You're like they're kind of that. Well, there are other. I saw you put this other bullshit award.
The other bullshit award is the Cubs' best defensive team of the year, and Nico Horner on that list as the best second baseman, and that's the Fielding Bible Awards, and it's given out by Sports Info Solutions, who I know where this is going. I have never heard of Sports Info Solutions in my entire freaking life, and I can't imagine how prestigious this must feel for these guys. They are actually a pretty prestigious group, but the reason you don't think about that, one of the things that they do is, you ever look at like a Fangraphs chart and it says hard hit, soft hit, and you're like, why is the hard hit rate at Baseball Savant and StatCast different than the hard hit rate at Fangraphs? It is because Sports Info Solutions is one of these organizations literally has like a person like coding that as that is going on. Like, and StatCast does it by like exit velocity off the bat, which is just a different way to do it. So they're not illegit, but keep going because I know where you're going with this, and I want to come in over the top and agree.
Are you saying Sports Info Solutions are real people instead of? Interesting.
And like really good stat people, like they've done some pretty interesting, like the Fielding.
Terrible name though. They sound like the robot company. Sports Info Solutions sounds like AI.
And Terry says
great. The Fielding Bible is actually real.
The CIS I use it all the time. And I would say it's the sissies.
I want a sissy.
So you know what kills me about these awards though, because I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go on Pete Crow Armstrong.
We should give out awards since everybody could do it.
I guess. Let's do the Bleacher Bunch awards.
We do, Danny. It's called the Cubs grade.
So who is the center fielder for this? I'm curious,
it means something.
The Fielding Bible Sports Info Solution Awards. Who's the center fielder?
I don't care.
I do.
I literally, when I see Sports Info Solutions,
all defensive.
I know.
Team,
I would glaze over. I can't believe it's the real.
I very
people.
much care about this.
All right, I'm good looking it up. Center
I'm glad
field.
Somebody does. It's not in my wheelhouse. I don't give a shit, and I know that it
was Stephen Quant. No, that's for
It wasn't our man PCA.
Center fielder, man.
Yeah, I don't think they did every. Hold on.
Yes, I know. I've done this already, but like I did this first.
They did Cedon Rafaela.
Okay, let's talk. People, we need to talk. Cedon Rafaela is a great Red Sox player. I love him. And if the argument you want to make is that Cedon Rafaela is a better defender than Pete Crow Armstrong, because Cedon Rafaela also plays second base and shortstop, I'm into it. We should have that conversation, and you might win.
That's a different question, though.
Pete Crow Armstrong is the best center fielder in Major League Baseball. It is not fucking close. And all you have to do is look at the 5-star catch leaderboard.
Yep.
Since
This is
Baseball
it.
Savant existed. Yeah, I had this first. Like Danny is quoting people who like are cribbing my work, but that's fine.
Oh, no. That was, this is on me. I picked this one up and I didn't know that you had this first.
PCA had more 5-star catches this season than 28 of 29 MLB teams this season.
Teams. Like additionally, like if you look at the leaderboard, and I wrote about this in like August or September, the all-time StatCast 5-star leaderboard. It's a percentage, right? It's like opportunities versus catches. And for the best center fielders who have ever played, Pete Kevin Kiermaier, Pete Byron Buxton when he's healthy, right? They're making like 30% of those catches. Pete Crow Armstrong makes like 50+% of those catches, people. 50+%. He is running down balls that are 5-star catches without diving.
Okay,
That
so I
is
got a
nuts.
quick question. Are you still supporting the Sports Info Systems award?
I know
or
why they
you...
did it. I am, but
it's eyeball test.
They're wrong. It's not an eyeball test.
So,
Actually.
okay, well, you can't be a legitimate award and then also be wrong.
Yes, you can. What do
you think our awards are going to be?
Well, hold on. Let me explain how this happens. So, the Fielding Bible Sports Info Solution people have a methodology for how they choose this. Their methodology includes looking at things, I believe, I could be wrong about this. There are other people who do this too, so I apologize if I'm ascribing a methodology to them that is not right. But generally, the methodology looks something like, we look at outs above average, we look at fielding run saved, we look at defensive run saved. These are all different, slightly different ways to amalgamate how many runs you saved and how many times you made a play that was a difference in a game over somebody else. Fine. The problem with using that to compare Ceddanne Rafaela and Pete Crow Armstrong is that Pete Crow Armstrong has multiple plays that he has made this season in center field that Ceddanne Rafaela cannot make. Not like, I don't mean that like...
Or anybody else.
Like literally nobody else in the sport who has played center field in the StatCast era makes those plays. And if they do, it's like a diving catch that has like a less than 1% probability. And Pete Crow Armstrong has done it 5 times. Yeah. And it's a bad metric for determining who the best center fielder in the game is. And again, if we want to talk about like Ceddanne Rafaela is a better defender because he plays multiple positions, including 2 primo middle infield positions, here for that argument because PCA definitely does not. Pete Crow Armstrong might be the best center fielder I've ever seen with my own eyes. And I watched a lot of Andrew Jones growing up because my dad and brother were super into the Braves and super into defense. And Andrew, prior to Pete Crow Armstrong, the guy I thought of as the best center fielder I've ever seen was Andrew Jones. And I just, it's another conversation entirely, the balls he catches. And whatever methodology you have that tells you that Ceddanne Rafaela is better than PCA, you are wrong. You are wrong.
Cotton is always a Jim Edmonds guy. He loved.
Oh my God.
I like Jim Edmonds on the Cubs.
Oh, I booed Jim Edmonds on the Cubs.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
Fuck that dude.
I like when he pulled the ball out of the ivy and 2 balls came out. That was great.
and Andre Dawson. So we totally skipped over the idea that we would have ever had a commercial break in this show. So just support us at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. It's $1 a month and you get extra special content early and ad free. And also shop at In the Clutch shirts. That's something I can promote because they are a small business. They are our friends and they're not like Nazi chodes.
They are. I mean, they're local.
Billy's
to
not
us.
anyway.
They're within our community, and we try and support our community. But I
do have to ask about this World Series. We're totally glossing over the championship of the world is coming up. Of the world, it's the series of the world, the whole world. The Earth
I am cheering for
having a
Vladito.
series. It's now.
I'm cheering for Vladito. I am cheering for Canada to beat the United States at the game we invented because I feel like the Blue Jays aren't going to the White House if they win. The Blue Jays are going to be like, no, we're just going to stay in Canada. It's fine. And I think that's great. And I think that should happen.
I don't know if either one of these teams will be invited to this White House, because I could totally see the resident in chief over there just saying, no, they're from California. I'm not even going to invite
the Dodgers went last year, though. Didn't they? So they'll go.
But no, look.
That was a different
last year was a different president.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think
do you
the
remember
guy that's
when,
over there now will even invite either one of them.
But
do you remember when the Cubs won in 2016 and they went to the White House when Barack Obama was still there? And then President Tiny Hands was like, that didn't count. I'm going to invite them again. And so the Cubs went to the White House.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, but
Literally like just run the lineup of like who went the first time and not the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But also, like, fuck the Dodgers in general, just because they are the Dodgers. Like, it's funny because they have players that individually I like, and I wish they were on the Cubs, you know? Who?
Mookie Betts, man.
Yeah, exactly. Mookie Betts. I mean, Ohtani. Oh my God. To hit 3 home runs and strike out 10. I mean, I'm just.
see,
He's a cheat code.
I'm torn on this because I honestly don't really give a shit about either team, right? And there is this sort of like, the underdog story. I usually go for the underdog in that sense. But there are a lot of Blue Jays that I do like, but there are a number of Blue Jays that I fucking hate. So, fucking Scherzer and Springer and fuck these guys.
Okay, George Springer
they're
is
assholes, and I do not care.
An asshole, get bent. Max Scherzer is elite.
Is a dick.
Is elite. I love Max Scherzer so much. We are going to miss him.
Look, you could be good at a sport and still be a dick. Nolan Arenado was like the best,
like when he's marching around the mound, like
for years,
with 2 different
and
colored
he's still
eyes
a dick.
Come at you.
I just don't like cheering for him.
I'm just saying, these are guys that I don't like.
I don't really care. I don't have a dog in the fight.
I would not want to ever see them succeed because they just seem like assholes.
May I interest you in Vladito,
the World
though?
Series. Oh yeah, Vladito
is great.
No, I like it. Like I said, there are players on the Blue Jays that I like, but there are players that I hate. And then on the Dodgers, they're just kind of like, whatever. I mean, I don't get too super excited over anybody other than like Ohtani because of what he can do.
Yeah.
But
like, I'm not going to like get all excited about Max Muncy or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I did love it when Max Muncy hit a ball into McCovey Cove and Madison Bumgarner got all bent out of shape. And Max Muncy's rounding the bases. He's like, go fish it out of the ocean. Go fish it out of the ocean. And Madison Bumgarner's like wanting to fight him. And they're like people holding him back. That was one of my favorite.
The coolest thing about the Blue Jays, I think, this year is that they came in last place last year. And that's in the AL East, which means they won 74 games. And that was good for last place in the AL East last year. And then now they're in the World Series. So that's
hold on.
cool.
I got to pull these numbers up because they're actually very cool. And I want people to understand how good Vladimir Guerrero has been this postseason.
20 game swing, 74 wins last year. And this year won 94 games. Like that's not, I mean, I'm sure you'll hear it.
Home field advantage.
So we have
the 93 win Dodgers. Like that's awesome.
There are guys who show up in October. Shohei Ohtani is clearly one of those guys. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Like we all know, we all remember.
Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber is an October dude. Kyle Schwarber lives for it's Schwarbtober, bitches. This is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the postseason this year. This is what we're watching, and we should appreciate it. He's slashing 442, 510, 930 with a WRC plus of 280. He is striking out 5.9% of the time. He is walking 12% of the time. He has 6 home runs. He has driven in 12 runs. He has scored 11. Vladito is on fire. It is like, I know everybody's like, oh, Ohtani did the craziest thing that's ever been done in the sport. That is true. Otani is striking out 30% of the time. Vladito is making contact and taking names all over the place. And one of my favorite things that happened this postseason, non-Cubs edition, Avi. So you got David Ortiz and Pedro Martinez talking about Vladito, and they're of course like they want to troll the Yankees because that's what they do. And so they're sitting there and they're like, Pedro has this whole riff. He's like, the Yankees, when I would throw a bad game there, they'd be like, "Oh, Pedro, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" He's like, "I want to go to the Yankees and be like, who's your daddy? Vladito. Vladito is your daddy. Who's your daddy?" And then they cut to footage of Vladdy, and he's like, "The Yankees lose." In that Dominican accent, perfection. The best thing I've seen in weeks.
The Blue Jays are a fun team. They got that jacket.
The jacket is good.
The jacket is good. I mean, the Cubs, they bore the hell out of me. They just wave at each other like little kids on bicycles.
Yeah, where's our
banana
fucking
seats.
jacket? We don't even have a waffle maker anymore.
We got
See,
that was Ian Happ. When Ian Happ is your most interesting like character on the team, you got problems.
And that's kind of how I feel about the Dodgers. Is like
right.
They don't seem exciting to
No, they're
me.
boring as fuck.
They are boring.
Yeah,
too.
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
with
man,
some
whatever.
exceptions, they're travel ball boys. Like Mookie Betts is not a travel ball boy. Like Tasker Hernandez is not a travel ball boy. Like Shohei Ohtani is not a travel ball boy. But like, like they are the
elite Cubs.
They are the Saks Fifth Avenue Cubs. We are the Temu Dodgers.
Well, look, even even one of our best players, Michael Busch, comes from them.
Yeah, but he's like the guy who wasn't good enough to play first base for the.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, like
That's
this is
what I
my new
mean.
thing for next year. The Cubs are the Temu Dodgers, right? Like they have Japanese stars, we have Japanese stars, but we have the Japanese stars that cost a fraction of their Japanese stars. Like we have the, we've got the the travel ball boys, travel ball boys that you can keep at our prices, right? Like they're out there like throwing $300 million at Freddie Freeman, and we're like, hey, can we take Michael Busch off your hands? Like,
well, Michael Busch and Justin Turner, for that matter, because we had to use two of their cast-off players to make one full player.
And I love that you went Temu Dodgers. You didn't even go DH Gate Dodgers. Nope. Like you went the even lower level.
I mean, that is the Carter Hawkins way. That's why he's here. Why do you think they hired somebody from Cleveland? They were like, this guy knows how to win on a budget.
So maybe the Mets are the DH Gate Dodgers because they cost a little bit more. They look a lot like it. They're just not the same.
I'm going to have to rename.
The Mets are just a disaster, man.
Yeah, the Cubs are just, everybody knows. Like, you order it, and then you just cross your fingers, and you're like, let's wait 5 months and see what we get.
Like we got Temu Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker wasn't Kyle Tucker for us.
Yeah, well, that was mostly injury, I think, that set him down. But I was just thinking to go to the Cubspiracy, where the Dodgers are the team that spends a lot of money and wins as a cautionary tale. The Mets are the team that spends a shitload of money and have it blows up, and that's the other cautionary tale. So they can do either way. They'll be like, well, we don't want to spend all this money because then we're like the Mets. They got all the fans saying that, by the way. I saw that today on Twitter. Well, you don't want to be like the Mets and spend all this money and lose anyway. It's like, yes, I do. Yes, I don't care.
The Cubs fans quote tweeting like the Dodgers will be in on Kyle Tucker. I'm like, no shit. The Dodgers know a good player.
Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody except the Cubs are going to be like, I don't know, man.
Kyle Tucker probably won't even play every day.
Did you hear what when Kyle Tucker walked out of the locker room and he's like, good luck, man. He's literally walked out. He's like, good luck. According to reporting, I was obviously
he knows he's not coming back. There's
for all the King Tuck hats, and I got one this season, but that's gonna be a relic someday. Remember the 47 seconds Kyle Tucker was a Cub and the Cubs tried to make King Tuck happen?
Yeah.
Yep.
In the middle of his stats, you'll go to Baseball Reference. There's this one little Chicago year in the middle.
We'll be like, can we interest you in Owen Casey? He's much cheaper.
Yeah. You know what, though? I mean, that is going to be the one bonus of the Cubs just not going after anybody and not signing any long-term, not even 2-year contracts, is that we may possibly get to see some of this great farm system that we've heard about. Like, we always hear that there's this farm system that is great, but then
They'll
we
take
never actually get to see them. And if we do, we see them for like a minute and then they just go back. Next year could be their year.
They might have to.
Because nobody will sign, and that's the way that Jed and Carter Hawkins work. We don't bring up minor leaguers to the major league team until we are absolutely forced to do it. And next year may be the year that they're just forced to bring up actually a whole bunch of the guys, and we'll see what happens.
Jason Hayward's available. They can go that direction.
He's set up that that baseball thing in Chicago too. So like
Jay Hay is
maybe you could bring him back.
Good human, World Series champion. Love me some Jay Hay forever. I don't want him playing on the Cubs.
No, I'm kidding.
I'll look if you gave me Jay Hay or Turner.
Although, you know where Jason Hayward went and found some success after the Cubs tried to like fix his swing.
Dodgers.
The Dodgers in a platoon situation. Like Jason Hayward was a key member of last year's Dodgers World Series team. And the day he got DFA'd, it was, I remember reading this bit from Freddie Freeman that was like, they asked him, like, have you talked to Jay Hayes? Like, I mean, I reached out, but, you know, I don't expect to hear from him. It's a rough day. Like, I have this feeling that there's more soul in the Dodgers than what's going on in the Cubs. Like, I made the Timu Dodgers joke, but I do actually, like, it feels like the Dodgers have some vibes that the Cubs are missing. That the Cubs, like, who is the vibes guy on the Cubs? Who's bringing the music? Who's the Anthony Rizzo who's going to like set up Mario Kart and like watch some Rocky movies and then be like, boom, 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 when you're coming back from down 3-1 in the World Series, right? Like, who is that guy? They don't have that guy. There's no guy running the clubhouse like that, right?
No.
Ian Happ bought a new Keurig.
Actually,
fuck.
That guy is supposed to be Justin Turner.
Yeah.
He's out there with his truck nuts and his fucking fun times, and we see it all the time in the Ranter Discord. The headline of Justin Turner
He's
means so much to this team.
1 year here. This is like Jim Edmonds. This is like Jim Edmonds.
He's terrible. I'm just saying, I'll take Jason Hayward over Justin Turner every single day, twice on Sunday.
You cannot import the vibes. Like, I mean this sincerely. Like, your vibes cannot come from somewhere else. The vibes for the 2016 team were Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, Chris Bryant, Wilson Contreras, Kyle Schwarber. Those are homegrown vibes. They were supplemented by some dudes who knew how to win in John Lester and John Lackey and David Ross coming in to bring the young guys together.
I'll add Joe Madden into that.
Yes.
Joe Madden.
The vibes have to be homegrown.
Joe Madden knew how to get everybody loose with, a magic show in New York.
Fun years.
Jake Arrieta had vibes,
bringing in pets for the families to like a
Pedro Strop. Carl Edwards Jr.
Vibes.
I mean, just people. We used to have nice things. We used to have fun.
We have moved into just sad territory. 9 years later.
Feeling the Andrew Kittredge love?
Oh my God. No, it's also Timu. It's all Timu. All right. Can I move on? I'm going to move on because it's on next Friday, which is also Halloween, is Ronnie Woo Woo's 84th birthday. And there's not really a party. There's going to be a party on the 1st of November, but it's got to be very limited because it's at the nursing home. So it's not an open invitation, but I'm going to go and I'm going to sing Beatles songs for everybody. So I'll be there. I'll take a bunch of pictures. I'll report back how it went. But I thought if you wanted to send Ronnie another card, throw a lottery ticket in there. It's the Pearl in Evanston. Put Ronnie Woo Woo Wickers. It'll get to him. And just send him a nice birthday card. You got a week from tomorrow. It's the Pearl in Evanston. And I also want to mention that we're getting an award from the Lost Boys. The Ranters are. And there's going to be a mimosa brunch at Haymarket, which is downtown. And I guess it's for our the ranters raising all the money for the Lost Boys over the last bunch of years. Anyway, I would love it. I told Levante we could fill 2 tables at least with ranters. So far, that's only 10 people. So far, there's 7 at our table. But if you'd like to come, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. It's the Patreon post for it. So, and it's open. The Patreon is open to everybody, this particular post. So you can click on it and get the information. If you'd like to come, it's only $50 and you get a mimosa brunch out of the deal. And we get an award. So we get to feel proud of ourselves for helping people.
$50
and you get to support the Lost Boys.
And we
$50 is what a good brunch is going to cost you no matter what.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of like,
cost of
you know, Levante, you could probably double this price or at least try to do 75, you know, make a little bit more money. But I'm sure that Haymarket is also donating the brunch. So
yeah, right. Haymarket's great. Danny, on the Beatles songs for Ronnie Woo Woo, have you considered Hey Jed?
Hey Jed, you really suck. You're
Take
a
the Cubs
loser.
team and make it better.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Remember when we won our World Series? Anyway, I just think you could do that.
I did do Hey Woo at Roddy Woo Woo's 80th birthday party, which was at Cubby Bear. And I got the whole crowd singing woo 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 woo. It was great. We went on for like at least 5-6 minutes.
Okay, you know so what? I like that. You should also do that, but also like Jed, 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 Jed. Fire Jed Hoyer, fire Jed. I think
I can get the whole bleachers going with that maybe if we have another 83 win team next year. So I'd love for everybody that wants to come to that event on the 22nd of November. Cotton, you're coming. Emily's coming. Sarah, you're out of town. Unfortunately,
out of town. I'm so bummed. I will donate though. So.
And then Cubs caroling is going to be the 20th of December. I don't think I made a invitation for that, but I will. But I did write my first Cubs carol of the season. It's not even Halloween, but that's, you know, I'm like the big box stores. I already got my Christmas stuff out.
All right, share it. What is it?
Okay, it's called The Brewers L to the First Noel. They flew the L after winning the game. Brewers beat the poor Cubbies and stole their flag. They'd celebrate with RL on their field. Then the Dodgers did sweep them. Their fate was sealed. The L, the L, the L, the L. The Brewers' season went to hell.
That is excellent work, my friend. Although
so we'll be singing that.
It comes me out because it means it has replaced the second Morel, which was my favorite Cubs carol from last year.
There's that we can do too.
Well, we got to, but you know what? We got to move on. Unfortunately, we don't have Morel anymore. I wish we had a second Morel.
I wish we had a first Morel.
Yeah.
But for everyone who just heard that, no time like now to start writing your ranter Christmas carols. I can't wait for ranter caroling out there. That's going to be great. But
the
also
Christmas show.
Just doing the Christmas show when we get to hear everybody, like, write your song. You don't need to do and not only you don't need to do it, you shouldn't do the entire song. Do like
a verse and a chorus.
And a chorus, and that's good enough. And then you put it on video, and then you play it. We'll play it, and then we will roast you or laud you or whatever. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, and because of the way that the calendar falls, I think our December 18th will be our Christmas show because the Christmas is on a Thursday. So December 18th will be our show. And then Ranter Caroling is the 20th. So
nice.
It'll be a Christmassy moment for everybody. All right. Well, I guess that's the show. And oh wait, you have a couple of things, Michael. We have to at least do the TFC, and we could probably save the silhouette. That you don't have to do it next time.
Well, I don't. I didn't grab the TFC because.
Oh, okay. Well, I have one TFC, which is kind of funny. And this is from William Contreras, because William Contreras shared an AI reel on his Instagram story after the Brewers lost about the Brewers and Cubs meeting up in Cancun. I thought that was pretty good natured fun, because William was obviously quite fired up about beating the Cubs, but also was willing to make fun of himself that they lost too.
Right. Yeah. No, that's nice. That's sweet that he's using AI to mend fences, I guess.
It's better than having the president make AI like shit all over people.
The president is a fuck. We can't. We're 85 minutes in. I cannot go back to my rants about the president.
I wrote to Wrigleyville Bum Joe, the winner of the Rancher of the Year award. I was like, "Hey, do you think we could get Tom Ricketts in a fighter plane shitting all over Cub fans in an AI video?" And I was like, that would be fucking epic. I'm like, or Harry Carey like in a fire jet, like shitting all over the St. Louis Arch or something. Like, I mean, and here's the problem with Trump. This is who he's appealing to. Like, my lizard brain. Like if you're 14 years old, you're like, that's the fucking best president ever. He just shits on those fucking people that tell me to eat my vegetables.
I mean, never mind. I'm not.
No, that's the fear. Right that's what I'm just saying. What I'm empirically.
I get it. No, you're not wrong. And also, if I have to hear one more word about how all the men are sad because the women are not interested in dealing with them, it's like we're fine all on our own things.
Oh my God! Listen, I followed Kat Abou-Gazala.
Yeah,
and she is freaking awesome. Like, I really want millennial women in charge of this country because they're freaking educated. They care about people, which is like a huge prerequisite for me. Like I'm going to pay a bunch of money to somebody. I want them to take care of the necessities of life. I want them to be smart. I want them to care about people. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all. That would be a good start. So Kat Abou-Gazala is awesome. She's been down there getting shot in the face with amazing. Like pepper balls too. It's like she puts her ass on the line. So
yeah, she's been at Broadview like almost every day.
Yeah, her and there's a bunch of people down there that I really am.
All of the best aldermen have been down there, man. Like yeah. Shout out to all the people who have been at Broadview.
So, and I wanted to add this before too. It's like, I know everybody feels kind of helpless right now that, you can't do something, but you can do something, even if you don't think it's very big. I mean, there's a Refugee One right up the street from me. I went by it on my bike and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and see if I can't help out with something. Cause my mom used to actually, volunteer for Refugee One. It's how we met all these like, Ukrainian people who ended up and Japanese people. That's how we met Tatsuya and Yuka, who I taught the history of Japan to. And gave him and the history of Chicago liqueur. It's a running joke on the show.
All crazy.
I wrote a book. I have a best-selling Japanese history novel.
Couple of other ideas. Go support some local restaurants that are in the neighborhoods that are being impacted here. Like, if you have money to spend and you're going to go out for a night, go to Pilsen, go to Little Village, go to the areas that are dealing with go to Cicero, go to the areas that are dealing with all of this nonsense. Go to one of the many area locations that are passing out these whistle packets and learn the symbols and like carry your whistle with you so you can help. If you have some time at drop off or pick up and there's a school by you, hang out. You don't have to do anything other than hang out at a corner and raise the alarm if there's an alarm to be raised. And just take care of your people, man. Like literally, if you see a person who is non-white walking down the street, smile at them. I'm telling you, it makes just smile at them. Just let them know that you want them there. and that you are not one of the people
Yeah. And do you
who
know what else?
endorses this.
Do you know what I'm pissed about too? And this is so petty. I have an army green jacket that now I notice is like making people startle when I wear it around. And I'm like, this is freaking bullshit because it's perfect for this fucking weather and it's a windbreaker and I can't wear it because people think I'm fucking ice. It's bullshit. Fuck these motherfuckers. This is my best jacket and they're fucking it up.
Sorry, Danny.
I know it's a petty complaint, but but my point being, people shouldn't be walking around Chicago in fear. It's a beautiful city. I'm walking around in fear, and also that's what they want. So don't be fearful. And here's the thing that I always say: pretending you're brave is the same as being brave. It's the exact same thing. All brave people are just pretending that they're brave because everybody, single one of them is scared shitless as they're doing the brave thing. So that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, fuck ICE, fuck Trump, go Cubs, Spugog, all those things. So, hashtag chance in the chat.
Fuck Jed.
Fuck Jed.
Go
Exactly.
Cubs.
Exactly. Fuck MAGA. Fuck. All right. Okay. Hashtag chance in the chat. It's your last chance to get in the chance. And thanks for supporting us too. Because we're like, somebody told me the other day that they appreciated the fact that I continue to speak out and organize people because, frankly, none of the other Cubs outfits are. So,
yeah, everybody's scared, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I understand that. Like, it's a scary time. But if we survive this, and we have a shot to survive it right now. Anyway, do this.
Yeah. Winner is Andy Wells.
Hey, congratulations, Andy.
Sorry to interrupt your winnings with my solemn and somberness, but if we survive this 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, there's going to be a young person in your life. They're going to be like, man, 2025 looks like it was crazy. What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Answer that question right now the way you want to answer it in 30 years.
Yeah. Maybe I'm handing off my whistle and being like, well, I had this whistle with me and this is my freaking...
I'm going to keep that. That whistle's good. Yeah. I'm going to be like 30 years old walking around with a whistle just in case.
Yeah. Well, you should anyway. And there are different symbols for the whistle. And so, yeah, there's all sorts of... I'm actually attending an Icebreakers meeting on Saturday morning. My alder's throwing it. He's like the leader of the Immigrant Rights Caucus. And so he's throwing that up in the...
Who's your alder?
Vasquez.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, Andre
he's
Vasquez
been really good. Maria Hadden has been really good.
Yep.
Gutierrez has been really good. There's been a handful of alder people who have been like fucking tight.
We have great leadership, and I don't think that most of Chicago's history, people have said that about our leaders, and so I think we have something to be proud of in this moment.
Can we talk about J.B. Pritzker for a second? That dude has killed it. And I didn't really like him when he ran for governor. And I just want to, no billionaires, man. Like billionaires think about the world differently than the rest of us. And if you're the heir of the Hyatt fortune, like who cares, right? But J.B. Pritzker has been on fucking point. I'm extremely grateful for that dude. He has done a good job. He has been clear-eyed, and him and Brandon Johnson for that matter. Like both of them have been out in front of like, you can't wear a mask in the city. You can't stage in our parking lots. You don't get to use city resources to do your dirty business. And they have just been like point after point after point, just protecting.
How about the old mayor coming out with her new Lori Lightfoot's back too, being like, she's back. She's got a database of like ICE people where she's like, oh, we're getting all of you. Like break the law now, state laws. We're keeping record.
Don't fuck with Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Chicago is a city that shows up and knows how to organize.
New York too.
Will win.
New York on Canal Street. That video is great too. They're chasing all those guys around, but I don't know what the hell they were thinking of doing down there. I'm like, you guys are way outnumbered in New York. Everybody's on the street. Like in Chicago, you to alleys, you could sneak up on people, but God damn it. Anyway, everything's fucked up, and now we got to get through the whole off season with this bullshit. To be honest, I hope it gets cold as fuck in Chicago. And that they can't do anything because it's too cold to do anything. So anyway, take care of each other. take care of your neighbors, and we'll keep taking care of each other in the Bleacher Bunch and all the ranters and anyway, and the Lost Boys and everything that we try to do. Anyway, that's the show. It's hard to end it, but
Spagog, bitch.
Spagog.
Spagog.
When you owe Bookie his money, just call Otani. The mob won't break your lace. When you lost a ton, you can count on Shohei. If you're a degenerate gambler and the mafia won't kill you, Shohei's got the funds.